Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's JPR, and today is a very special day. According to the Pokemon anime novelization, May 22nd marks Ash Ketchum's birthday. If you must know, this year is his 35th birthday, but he's still turning 10. You know how it goes. And I really wanted to do another Ash Ketchum video to celebrate the occasion. Originally, I thought of doing an evolution of Ash Ketchum type of video, so I typed in those exact words to see if anybody else had beat me to it, and dang it turns out my buddy Lumio's trainer Zach did just that. So it's back to the drawing board for me. Thanks, pal.
No problem, John.
What the? Get out of here! Anyway, I didn't want to retread a popular video that's already out there, so instead I landed on the Pokemon I want to see Ash catch most in the new Pokemon Journey series idea. I know, it doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well. If you haven't been keeping up, Ash's team in Journeys looks quite a bit different from what you might expect it to. Just 22 episodes in, and our new champion is bringing the heat with a team of Pikachu, Dragonite, Gengar, and Riolu. Also, Mr. Mime is just kind of chilling out on the side. He's not technically on the team, but Ash can use him whenever he needs to. It's complicated. Anyway, Ash's team is not nearly as predictable as it once was, so today I'm going to be selecting 8 Pokemon, one from each region, that I'd personally love to see Ash capture and use in battle. I know Ash usually limits himself to a team of 6 Pokemon in each series, but I'm personally hoping that since he's traveling the world this time, that he'd build a larger, more versatile team. Let's get into it. Actually, can we skip Kanto? Yeah, I didn't think so. Alright, so Ash's team is already half Gen 1 Pokemon, so I would be perfectly fine with him not catching anymore and giving some love to other generations. But if I absolutely had to choose one, it would be Arcanine. Okay, are you surprised? No, I can explain. Even setting aside my very obvious bias towards Arcanine as my favorite Pokemon, fire types have always been a staple on every one of Ash's teams, so needless to say, it would be kinda weird if he didn't have one this time around. On top of that, if you watch my Pokemon Left Behind video, you know that it's been an exceptionally long time since Arcanine last appeared in the anime. Since Diamond and Pearl, actually. I know that the Pokemon Journeys writers have claimed that they intend to show off every single Pokemon at some point during the series, but man, what a triumphant return it would be if Arcanine landed a spot on Ash's team. Arcanine has always been a Pokemon of justice, commonly wielded by Officer Jenny's alongside its pre-evolution, Growlithe. Additionally, this Pokemon has never been owned by a major protagonist in the series, so it would be a nice first to see. Alright, with that out of the way, it's time to build my credibility back up. For Generation 2, I'd love it if Ash caught an Espeon, or rather evolved one from an Eevee. Eevee is practically the second mascot of Pokemon by this point, and we all got baited into thinking that the Eevee in Sun and Moon would be Ash's before it was caught by Lana. Yep, still salty about it too. Espeon is my personal favorite evolution, and it was also used by Red in Pokemon Gold and Silver, notably being the only Pokemon in his possession that has no relationship to any Pokemon owned by Ash. It was later replaced by a Lapras in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but I still think Espeon would be another neat way to subtly tie the two counterparts of Ash and Red together. Plus, discounting Mr. Mime, Ash has never owned a Psychic-type Pokemon, and I just think it would be wicked cool to see him use one. For Gen 3, I think the obvious pick is Flygon. Flygon always felt like an Ash Ketchum Pokemon ever since its first appearance in Jirachi Wishmaker. Probably because Ash rode and commanded Flygon in that movie. Doesn't take an Alakazam to figure that one out. I know Ash already has Dragonite on his team, so this pick might seem a little redundant, but Dragonite, at least as of right now, strikes me as more of a comedic relief character rather than a battler, ironically enough. I know it's still early and things could change, but I think it would be interesting to have 2 drastically differently written Dragon Pokemon on Ash's team, with Flygon being the more serious and battle-oriented member of the team. Alright, for Gen 4, Ash is realistically just going to evolve Riolu into Lucario, and that'll probably be it. And there aren't any other Sinnoh Pokemon that Ash doesn't already own that immediately stick out to me, so I'll use this time to say, please bring Gible back. This little guy carried the comedy in the last season of Sinnoh. He deserves so much more than what he ended up getting. This is one of Ash's funniest Pokemon with the tiniest amount of screen time. I said funny! I totally wouldn't mind if he pulled a Phanpy or a Cyndaquil and just came back briefly to evolve to a Gabite. That's it, I don't even need a Garchomp. I just think Gible deserves more, even as a temporary member. And Ash did have 3 birds in XY, so don't tell me 3 dragons is impossible. For Gen 5, again, this feels like a really obvious shoo-in, but Zoroark. It's basically Gen 5 Lucario. Ash may not have as strong of a connection to this Pokemon like other ones in this list, but nobody can tell me that Zoroark isn't sick. Ash has also strangely been gravitating towards Dark-type Pokemon over the past few generations. Not that he's turning evil or anything, I just think that they're finally trying to make a point that even the Dark-type Pokemon are as good as the other types. I also just think it would be awesome to see Ash in the role of the trickster for once, using Zoroark's illusions to his advantage instead of being the one getting fooled by them. Zoroark could bring out a very unique battle style, though we haven't seen much in Ash. Now for Gen 6, this pick may seem a little more off the wall, but Gogoat. Go-Go always felt like a solid fit with Ash in my opinion, and I was a bit shocked that in XY he didn't capture any grass types at all. Probably because he was too busy turning into a bird keeper. This is probably the least likely and also least important Pokemon on this list though, so I wouldn't really expect it to happen. I know, this is the part of the video where you want me to talk about Greninja.
Yeah, what gives? Where's my boy Greninja?
Okay, fine, bring back Greninja too. I think it would be really neat if a fully released Pokemon came back for once. Sure, that already happened with Goodra and XY, but that was within the same series. I feel like it would make much more of an impact for Greninja to return after being absent for so long. I'm all for returning Pokemon as I am for Ash catching new ones. Okay, cool, did that little Greninja talk meet everyone's expectations? Can we move on now? For Gen 7? Honestly can't think of one. Ash pretty much captured every Gen 7 Pokemon that I expected him to during his time in Alola. Now, my personal hope is that since Ash's Gen 7 team is still living in Alola instead of Oak's lab, that he'll just get to visit them and Professor Kukui again whenever he does make it over there. Out of the entire gang, I'd love to see Ash get a few more battles in with Incineroar, considering we never got to see a battle after it evolved, as well as Lycanroc, seeing as how it's a one-of-a-kind form that only Ash owns. It just feels like they should get to interact again. Kinda reminds you of someone, doesn't it? It's also the Pokemon that literally won the Pokemon League for Ash, so that has to count for something, right? Ash's Lycanroc also appears in the new version of the ending song. I'm not sure that means much of anything, but it's worth throwing it out there. And for Generation 8, I would really like it if Ash caught that Sobble that they've been alluding to recently. I've been saying this since they first revealed Sobble. It feels like the type of Pokemon that Ash would be able to teach confidence to and help it overcome its naturally gloomy nature. It almost feels like the character arc is preemptively written into the Pokemon. If I were the writers, I would just take this little freebie. Now, if Koharu, or Chloe now as she's called in dub, you know what, I'm just gonna keep calling her Koharu. If Koharu eventually does end up joining Ash and Go on their adventures, I think Sobble will work fine on her team, seeing as how she's also a bit of a gloom and doom type personality herself. It would be nice to see both of them overcome that together. But as it stands right now, I'd love it if Ash caught Sobble. But if Koharu does join the group and catch Sobble, then you know what, just give Ash Grookey at some point and we'll be fine. But then the Go-Go pick looks kinda stupid. Geez, maybe Greninja is just meant to come back. Alright, so that's my dream team lineup right there. Arcanine, Espeon, Flygon, Zoroark, Go-Goat, and Inteleon. Now that is a champion team if you ask me. And that's not even considering the powerhouses that Ash has already caught. On top of that, just bring back some of Ash's older Pokemon at some point. I know it's still early in the series and it's better to keep laying down the foundation before we bring back too many old characters, but man, I'd really like to see some of the old goons like Gible and Incineroar too, even if they're just temporary. Thanks for watching today's video, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.